for us to advertise for bids. We have 4 easements that are related to the 4 lift stations on this project. We have to have the easement. We also have to have the local council's preliminary title opinion.
Yeah, I
And
talked to him too on Tuesday.
Okay.
And he said he'd get that done in a couple of days. Now that Hoffman is on vacation this week. Is it Hoffman?
With
The
Dempsey?
no,
Who you talking about?
the rural development guy.
Oh, Doug Hoff. He's
Hoff.
off this week, yes.
Right, he'll be back. And he's supposed to review it starting Monday.
Right.
But now, the attorney told me that he could get that done a couple of days for us. But today, Joe brought something in the key that I have to give to you for. Yeah, I just got late this season. Combo.
Somebody's doing the title work.
It has to do with Dempsey because we haven't been able
We
to.
have a agreement on file. We have a copy of it in my desk. Agreement between the Martin County Fiscal Court and Dempsey Housing. What we can't find is the deed. So we got the agreement that we own it and everything, but we cannot find the deed for the property at Dempsey.
Can't find the deed for, I thought it was a lease.
No, we have the lease.
We had
The
the
deed
lead.
we don't have.
To
When was
Dempsey,
it bought?
70.
What did you say?
When was it
When
bought?
was it bought? My God, we don't have the deed.
I don't know. That
Oh, it
was
was
a long
sometime in the
time
70s.
ago. It was in the
Late
70s.
70s or
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has it not been recorded or just?
We don't know.
We don't know.
The PVA's office cannot find this.
Have you looked at the fiscal court books to see when it was purchased? They had to be an, approval by the court to buy it. Who were the parties when it was?
I'll get that stuff over to you tomorrow. And,
Willie Kirk was county judge, I think, at the time that lease was
Do you
executed.
know who was bought it off? Who county bought it off? Was it Mr. Staker, Zane Staker?
I don't think it could have been he said, but it don't show all that in the lease agreement because they did the lease agreement continuing, they own the property and they just lease the Dempsey house.
Just wasn't a deed recorded.
That's what they do.
I hope everybody's will. Sold it.
I'm sure they ain't.
Somebody is.
So the county still owns the property.
We're
They just don't
supposed
have a
to.
deed for it. No.
We made a lease for it.
Well, what about options such as moving the lift station, across the road to the property where the actual facility is going to be
Yeah,
located?
where we bought off of.
Well, that would be a question I'd have to pose to the engineers. I can't answer that. I mean, if it
It's
would
not that
work.
far down, is it?
then that's not a problem. It's just we have to consult them to see if the system works right to do that.
In the time aspect, that's what.
Well,
And then another suggestion
Yeah, okay.
is, of course, Warfield Park, the county owns Warfield Park. It's just right beside the property. I mean, if that's an option as well. So.
okay. Well, I'll certainly contact the engineer tomorrow and ask those questions.
So they brought me a copy of the lease and everything.
Just can't find
They
a
just
deed.
can't find
Well,
a deed.
maybe it's not recorded, it possibly could be just not recorded.
That's probably correct.
But back to the issue of when we can advertise, it will be once we can submit easements and the preliminary title opinions on those 4 properties. And it's the one that's the issue. The Dempsey property is the one that's the issue. Everything else is okay. Thank you.
Back to the sections, don't you?
I said, Michael,
Hey, Linda, if you want to come up here, you can correct me if I'm wrong when I start telling them about the budget. Which now I possibly could be wrong. I'm generally not, but. Well, this is going to be our first reading of our budget, starting July 1st to June 30th. Keep in mind, the state said that we was $568,000 less revenue in our coal severance account, but actually, they said we budgeted $1.7 million, we budgeted $1.8 million, but we did go earlier. So, with that said, $568,000, they passed a law, most of you know, it's a one-time deal, take out on our single county economic development money, to get the $568,000 back. Now, Keena's, if y'all remember, Keena's talking about a refund from some lawsuit, some
Yeah.
settlement. We got that $200-some thousand.
$238,000 or something like that.
236, I believe. But anyway, with that said, that is close to $800,000. Now, that's how we made our budget. Our budget includes it's almost a mirror of last year, nothing added, no raises. Now, with that said, keep in mind this is what I said. It was a one-time shot on the 568, a one-time shot on the settlement.
Next year it won't be that way.
Next year we're not gonna have that money.
Well, then maybe we need to give them a raise this year while we got the money.
Well, if we could incorporate a raise, we'll look at that again, but it's just about a near impossibility this year and probably a more impossibility next year. But what I want to do is I want to try to save through this, for a 12-month period of time, I want to try to save as much money as we can. So the cuts won't be near as deep as they would. If we had to make a budget today with $800,000 out of it, it wouldn't be a good time to be sitting in. There's just so much that we'd have to cut out our budget, move around. I mean, we don't want to tackle that this year. But now next year, if we don't save money for the next 12 months, it's not going to be a good time next year. I don't know how they're playing it. My statement is pretty plain. Now, coal service picks up. You know, Martin County Coal, they got Martin County Coal for sale right now. Somebody's buying it. There's a huge block of coal up there. It's a 30-year mine. They have so much liability. If somebody was to buy that, and believe me, there's several companies want to buy it. That would probably mean about $150,000 a quarter for us. That would make up our difference. Now, that happening between now and 12 months from now is slim to none. Now, it may pick up 2 or 3 years down the road. They say 15, but who knows?
Well, if they sell out, can I get them to blacktop my road the way they said they would do it?
We can probably get that anyway.
I'm going to respond to that. You want to tell me to contact somebody
Yeah.
later, I will, what they take.
So with that all said, I'm going to read the first reading. It'll take me a few minutes. The general fund, 1.234,691.45 for general government, general health and sanitation, 200, social services, 4,300, debt service, 472, 408, 33. Administration, 178,100. Other fringe benefits, 471, 608, 77 for a total of general fund 2.36130.65. Road fund, general government 24,000. Roads 920, 470, 44. Debt service 926, 448, 50. Administration 70,400. Other fringe benefits 244,063.7 for a total of road fund 2.18538.2.01. Jail fund protects personal property 425,822. Other fringe benefits 75,957.06 for a total of jail fund 500,001.779.06. LGEA general government 67,449. Protection personal property 50,975. General health and sanitation $529,530. Social services 2,000. Recreation and culture 128,47.25. Road 255,000. Debt service 897.12. Other fringe benefits 289, 241.57 for a total LGEA 2.157,939.94. State grant fund, $11,050,000 for that total. Federal grant fund, $250,000 for total. Forestry fund, $2,600 for total. Occupational tax, general government, $35,922. Protected personal property, $298,837. General health and sanitation, $62,394.91. Social services, $55,000. Recreation and culture, $222,000. Road, $250,000. Administration, $1738.36. Fringe benefits, $113,435.34. Distribution to other governments, $139 for a total. Occupational tax,